Yep. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we discussed a few basic things about server-side scripting and what are the features of Node.js. So today we will see how we can work with server-side objects. We need to understand how to. Yesterday I given some list. Learning a server-side technology is about server-side objects, means request, response, session, cookies, and all those. So here server side objects are nothing but, so technically Node.js server side objects, we have some objects like we have these, I will give them as Node.js server side objects. Node.js server side objects. We have so many built-in objects available in Node.js. So how to use some these objects we will see. Actually, first we have an object called OS. OS object is nothing but technically it provides information about the operating system. So operating system and device and server device. Information about operating system and server device. So this is which operating system? Server operating system, not client operating system. Server is using which operating system? Server is using how much memory, which processor server is using. All such information is collected by this object. Why it is important? Why we need to know server capacity? Why we need to know server capacity? What is the point? Why we need to discuss and know about the server capacity? Who are these people, online people? Why you are raising your hand? Is there any problem with you? If you have any doubt at the end of session, raise the hand. Otherwise, don't. Right. So, who is this? Are you dumb? Who is the Poco M3? Are you dumb? Can't hear? Next time you will be removed from the class. Right. So, technically, OS related information, why we need to do? Right. We'll do one thing. Yeah. Right. So technically, why we need to know OS related information, operating system related information of server. Why we need to do that? Why we need to do that? Because some client is uploading a file. Then we must know, is there any memory available in the server to save that file in the server? Where the file will be saved? Server. He will upload a file that will be saved on server. Then how do we know? So how do we know how much memory is in our server so that we can allow that particular file, right? That is important. So how do we know the memory is available in server? That you can get by using OS. So how do we know how much memory is available on client? Client related operating system details, how we can access. This is server related. Client related operating system details, how we can access. we learned client related operating system details, which operating system client is using, how you can access. We learned an object called navigator. Navigator object will get the information about client, and OS object gets the information about server. That means we will get the client information, we will get the server information, we will compare both client and server information, and then we are going to report the issue. We will say that you are uploading this much memory, but only this much is available, please upload less. Such information you can gather by using OS, right? Server related information we can get. For that, how to do that? First thing, so what you have to do, let's open our Visual Studio Code. And in this Visual Studio Code, now let's go to our project. Our project is this shopping. Yeah. In this shopping project, yesterday we created a simple JavaScript file index.js. Now in this, we have to write the server side code. Here in Node.js, what is the point is, every object is present in a separate module. Through that module, we have to access the and use it. Generally, how to import any module? In JavaScript, we use import method. Na? In Node.js, we have require. In Node.js, the modules are imported by using require. Require and require, and which module you have to mention. Module name. Which module we want? OS. OS is the module. Now through OS module, you can access, you can create an OS object. How to create an object? Where OS is equal to that. That means now what we are doing, we are importing this OS object and all the members of that OS object. This is module. That is the module OS. Now what we are doing, we are creating an object. You can use any keyword, let, var, const. So, but declaring modules, they prefer using const. Why? Why const? Because once you initialize, you cannot change. That is the reason. So modules must be like that. Once you import, they cannot change. That's the reason it's a habit, but you can use anything. So if you use var or let, var means you can change. We can change shadowing. So here const. Okay. Now through this OS reference, you can access all the members of this OS module. Now, very important, every object have a lot of properties. How do we know what properties it is having? How do we know what properties an object is having? To know what properties an object is having, so we can just write a for in operator, iterator. We already learned how to know the properties, values of any object. So just what we do, for var property in OS. So we are reading every property, we will print console.log. What is it? Property. I told you, you should not use any document methods, no DOM methods, because Node.js is server side, not client side. So you have to use only console method for so output here. Let's run this and see. Now we are compiling this. For just your understanding sake, I will open in a command prompt. I will open a separate command prompt, cmd. Yeah, here I will run. You don't need to do that. You can directly run in terminal. Open terminal, there you can run. Yesterday I told you how to run the programs. Node index.js. And you can see it shows all these. See, so many properties are there. In the properties, these are all the members. That means OS module contains these members. These are the members of OS module. So these are the members. So OS module provides following members. So these are all the members. I will paste the list here. These are all the members. You can try one by one member and you can see. I will show you one, two. You can understand. Now, how to handle these members? That means simply syntax, what you have to do. First, you have to import constant. OS is equal to require out OS. This is module name, so capitalization matters. You have to write in lowercase, right? Next, here through OS, you can access all of them. That means you can access, for example, version. It's like a method. It returns the current OS version. You can use OS.uptime. Uptime means at what time the server started. Server up, server down times will be there. At what time it started, from how much time it is running. All such information is important for server side developers. They need to know how much time it is now running, when it started, how much load it is taking, how many users are using. All such things are important. Here, we are not learning any server administration. Server administration, people need to know more details. We are just learning server side scripting, but still we need these objects. So similarly, you can try others. These all others we can try. So let's see what it is having. Observe here, Arc is architecture. Architecture means it returns the server architecture. Server architecture means processor type, processor company, processor related capacities. All such information you will get by using Arc. If you want to know only C+, that is CPU structure, only CPU structure will come. In architecture, it will return all details. That means complete operating system related architecture will come in Arc. Only CPU details you want, means which processor they are using, which capacity processor they are using. If you want to know, then you can use CPUs. That is actually CPU structure. Similarly, free memory means how much memory available. That number it will give, how much memory available. Host name, already you saw it. Host name means server name. Server name usually will be local host or it will be IP address 127.0.0. Client side, server side, we are using same server currently. That is the reason host name will give the server. Which platform, it will show the platform name, right? All these details you can get. Which user is currently using, user info. Total, how much memory is capacity server is. Total memory means how much memory, total capacity, how much free, how much used. Such information you can get. See now how to do that. Just we have to write like this. So console dot log, we have to use OS dot CPU architecture. CPU structure I am accessing. Only the CPU structure I want. Now see, when I run this here, what is it? Node. So index.js. And you can see it is going to get the CPU structure. This is my CPU structure. That means my server structure. So it is Intel Core i3 So some CPU 2.20 gigahertz like this. All the information it will display, right? All the information it will display. These details are required for people who are doing server administration and all. Server side technology people need these, they don't need this every time. So we don't need to know CPU structures and all, but just a point. What is important for us? Server name, IP address, how much memory available, how much memory already taken, all such details are enough for us. We can just write all of them. So suppose here I am writing another, what is it? Suppose I want to know free memory. That means here I say free memory in bytes, how much? Free memory in bytes, how to get it? OS dot what? Free mem. Free mem, it will get the free memory. That means it will return how much free memory is there. Node index.js. This is in bytes, how much memory. So that means how much memory is available. Actually, what you do? So suppose, means there are so many techniques. So this is by 1024. That means what I am doing here, I am dividing by 1024. So dividing by 1024, this is how much? It will be returned in MB. How much MB it is available, right? 1024 into 1024 is 1 MB. Na? So such representations we can do, calculations we can do. We can divide, and what you can do, you can write in kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, you can define them, right? That is generally some techniques people do. This is actually to get the information about, this is an example how we can define. Like that, you can try all details. You will get all the information, like what is the version number, what is the total memory, what is the free memory, every detail you will get. What is user info? Suppose I want to get console.log. So current active user, who is the current active user? OS dot what? User info. That means here I am running that here. You can see current user is an object. User info is an object because obviously user info may contain a lot of details. User ID, name, something there may be. You can access them by using dot. Dot what I want, which one? User name. So that means now you can see it is going to get username, which user is currently active. All that information will be available. So all that information will be available here. That username, which user is there, right? All that information will be available. So technically, we can get the user related details, server related details. So by using that, this is also server related only. On server, currently, which user is active, that information. Because currently what is problem and confusion is, user and server both are same person, right? We are the server people and we are the user, because we are working in same computer. No? Client side, server side, we are the same. But in companies, it will be different. Server IP will be different. User IP will be different, right? This is general concept. All those details you can try. So these are related to OS. So the purpose of OS object is to get information about whom? Server. Server capacity, server related details. Next, another important in the objects, you have the object called, one another object is path. Path object is another Node.js server side object. Path object is nothing but it gets the location details details of any resource on server. Location details of any resource on server. In server, some resources are present. Some resources means like in server, there may be some images, some PDF files, some content may be there. That location details you can access. That means in which folder it is present, what extension it is having. All such details you can access by using path. Client related location details. Client related location details you can access by using JavaScript location object. Location href, location path, location host name. You have location object. JavaScript location object we learned. Location object will get all the client location details. Server location details you can get by using path. Path is used for getting the resource location. Let's see. So what are the objects present? So we have to do like this: constant path is equal to, what is it? Require. Require what? Path. Path is a module. Let's see what members it is having. For where property in what path. So console.log what? Property. Console.log property. So here we will run this. So node index.js, and you can see it will get all these details. Path have resolve, normalize, is absolute, join. Now you know another technique also now, because remember, every member we don't learn and not required also. But in some rare situations, in some companies, you may require it. Then how do you know what value it contains? You know logic technique, how to get value, how to get the property, how to know its type. Suppose I want to know what type they are, then how do we do? We can write logic like this. What we have to do, first we need to print, what is it? Property. After that we want to print, so path of property, then it will get its value now. Its value. If you want to get its type, then what to do? So we have to use type of path of what? Property. That means its value type it will get. So you will get so many details now. So node index.js, so many details. You see everything it will return. So many details it is having, everything. So resolve is what type? Function. In function, it shows what is the detail available. That means it will show what functionality it is having. It will return all that information. There is another option, SEP. It is what? String. String means it returns separator, delimiter, string. Separator is nothing but path name is separated with slash. Path name is separated with slash, C:/. What is the separator it is returning? You can see it is returning. So all that information you can access here. So I just used everything, but you can step by step you can see here. We will do few things here now. So what we do, I'll just give a option. This is to know all details. I will give, this is an example, and actually what are all the properties it is having. So server path object comprises of following members. It contains following members. What are the members it is having? Let's see. I will change this only property name. Right, only property, so that I can print only all the properties there. Node index.js. These are all the properties. Let's copy that. And here we will see. These are all the members. Now let's see how we can get that. Suppose, see how they are used. Another example I will show you. Suppose Somebody is trying to access a file, or somebody is trying to access any folder from our server, then we can do like this console.log. So we are defining here. So one is file uh, file details. Okay, here it is having d colon slash, it is having images slash some image, suppose some pic dot jpg, something like this. I want to know, and escape issues will come. To handle the escape issues, we have to use what? Slash, another slash. Now I want to know the extension of the file which is uploaded, which file they uploaded. Actually, how to upload, I will tell you. Through client side, we have to send a file. When file path comes here, server side, how to verify which file they uploaded, how to get that. So we have to give like this path dot, so extension name from which location? From file details. That means here we will write, so a simple option, file extension. File extension, how much? What is that extension we are cutting? That means now what it will do, when you run this, it will get the extension .jpg. Now what we do here, we write logic. If extension is not jpg, we will tell them please upload only jpg. Such type of references are very much required. Then we can write condition here. So if what is it, if path dot extension of what? File details not equal to dot png. If not equal to png, you can write multiple, or you can check another file extension. Currently I am using only one. If it is not png, then console.log. So we here we will put please upload only png files. This message we will give. Otherwise else, so we will put a message saying that console.log, so file uploaded successfully. This message we will give them, right? That is the message. Please upload only file. So here I will give another line. Another line I will write like this, your file extension is this. What extension they uploaded? This is, now when I run this, what will happen? It says please upload only png files. Your file extension is what? .jpg. Suppose they uploaded .png file. Okay, then what happens when I run this? File uploaded successful. These kind of activities are managed server side. You remembered I told you when we learned HTML, we learned input type file. There I told you that in interviews, and many times you get doubt like, can we restrict the file size? Can we restrict the file type in HTML? No, there is no chance. In HTML, you cannot restrict the file type. In HTML, you can put filter. We have accept attribute now. By using that accept attribute, you can put filter that they can view JPG files, they can view PNG files, but that filter can be changed. Uploading restriction is not done client side. Uploading restriction is done where? Servers. When they upload that file, we will collect that file information on server. Here we will verify. After verifying, we send the detail to client saying that you can't upload this. That is done by using which object? By using path. Path object have lot of properties. This is one. What are the properties path is having? Path is having dir name. Dir name means directory name. It will give base name. Base name means root directory name. Normal current directory name, root directory name. Similarly, extension. Format means what? MIME type. You know, extensions, MIME types are different now. Extension, you will get extension name. MIME type, you will get MIME. You have delimiter is nothing but separator, right? These are basic details about the path, right? So technically, these all are not required. Mostly we use file name, file folder name, and file extension name, especially when dealing with the files, right? These all we can collect by using which one? Path, right? By using path. Now we have another important object. So in Node.js, we have an object called, there is another object called FS. FS object. Actually, FS is a file stream. File stream object. File stream object is present in every technology. In every technology, we have file stream objects. Remember, all technologies will have these objects, but with different names. That means in Java also, they will have server-side memory related objects, server-side operating system related objects. They will have server-side path related objects. They will have file streams. File streams, every technology will have, including you will have file streams in C++ also. C programming, C++ programming, they have to deal with files. Then they have to use a file stream. Actually, they use that as a IO stream. They use it as an IO stream, input and output stream. Actually, file stream is nothing but it provides a set of properties and methods that are used to access information, about file, so that so that so that so that you can read and write information into file. Actually, into file. Yeah, into file. You can read and write information into file. Client side, to read information from a file, what we done? Client side, to read information from a file and show on screen, what we done? We used fetch method, no? Fetch method, jQuery, Ajax method, right? What is the fetch method doing? Haven't we read information from JSON file? In JSON file, some data is present. How to read? How to read that information? We have used fetch. We learned jQuery Ajax. We can read information from HTML file and present. We can read information from a text file and present. We can read information from a JSON file and present. Already we done that on client side. Client side, we used fetch, jQuery, Ajax for reading the information in from a file and presenting. And here we can do by using FS. FS is what? File stream. Here one specialty is that, so actually Node.js provides two types of stream methods. Two types of stream methods. It provides two types of stream methods. What are the two types of stream methods? We have synchronous methods, sync methods, and we have async methods. So sync methods will use a blocking technique. Asynchronous methods will use an unblocking technique. That means you have two techniques of reading the files by using synchronous, another one asynchronous. Synchronous means what? While it is reading, it will not allow any another work. That means it is going to block all the requests and will process only the given. Asynchronous means what? If it will start a process, if it is taking time, it will keep it in the background and it will go to another. That is what asynchronous. So you have both techniques here, synchronous as well as asynchronous. Let's see. For example, we have, so a file is present, we have a data, in data there is a help.txt. Already we done that in our jQuery. I want to read information from this file and present. Let's see how server side it can do. For that we need a module. Which module? FS. But FS module is not inbuilt available in Node.js. You have to install it separately. So what you have to do is you have to install npm install fs and save. FS is a separate module you have to import. Those two modules are inbuilt available. Node.js by default gets which module? OS. It will have by default path, but it doesn't have FS. That means now FS we have to separately install. Let's install. So npm install fs and save. We are downloading and installing as FS module. It is installed. Okay, close. Now we have to import constant fs is equal to, so require, so which one? FS. We have to import that. Directly it is not available. We have to import. Now, after importing, I told you two techniques are there. See what I am doing. First, I am writing console.log. Here I am writing. So, reading file. Okay. That is reading file. That is the first line. After that, second, it has to first print reading file. After that, second, it have to read the file and return its content. We need to read the file and return in the content. How to do that? Fs dot, we have an option called read file sync. Read file sync is nothing but synchronous. Read file sync is a synchronous method. By using this method, you can read the file where it is present ../data/help.txt. It will read that file. After reading the file, so it returns that file content, right? Whatever content is present in the file, it returns. Then we will store in, so var data. Okay. Whatever data comes from the file, we will store in this location. Okay. After that, what we have to do? Print that data. That means console.log data, but data comes in a binary form. Fetch method also comes in which form? Binary. We converted into JSON. Here it is not JSON. We need to convert it into string. It is normal string, na? Text file means string, na? Right? To string. We have to convert to string. If it is JSON, here we have to use to JSON, to string, like that. Okay. After that, I will put another message, console.log. So I will say read complete. So this message should display. Now, actually here, how many tasks are present in this process? 3 tasks are present in this process. First task, printing read file, right? That is the first task. Second task, connecting to the file, reading the information from file. converting into string and presenting, right? Third task, printing the message called read complete. Out of these three, which one is heavy task? Second one is heavy task. But we are using synchronous. That means when it is doing the task, it will block all other tasks. Until this is finished, next task will not continue. That means until the second is finished, then next is not there. Let's run this and see. That means we are running that here. So node, here node index.js. Now you can see this is there. You see the first line, reading file. After that, it is reading the content from the file and presenting it. After that, third one, what it is, read complete. So all tasks will execute in the same order. So first read file. After that, read complete. After that reading the content. After that, read complete. Okay. Now this is synchronous. It will never change. Always in the same order it will do. In the same order. This is reading file content using sync technique. So that means blocking technique. That is blocking technique. This is the program. Let's try asynchronous technique and see what will happen. So these days we prefer asynchronous technique. So here I will change it now. Remove. Second task, I will use fs.read file. Read file is by default asynchronous. That means by default, all methods in Node.js are asynchronous. If you don't want asynchronous, you can forcibly use synchronous. Sometimes we need synchronous. We don't want another task to perform until the previous task is finished. In that case, we forcibly use them. Otherwise, read file. What is the file path? Is data/help.txt. Now this uses a callback function. In this callback function, it will have error and it will have data. Understood? Now I will use the expression. You know, this is all arrow technique, right? First will return error, just like Ajax. If there is no file, path wrong, then it returns error. If there is file, then it returns the data. That we will write a logic. If there is no error, then what to do? Console.log. Console.log, it have to print to the data to what? String. So otherwise, if there is a problem, then console.log print that error. Complete error will come. You can classify. You can write error, only message you can put. You can even put only error number. Error number means 404. That is status number. Message means only message. Now error means everything. Message, number, all details about the error will come, right? That is the point. Okay, let's try this and see now. So here again, first task is small. Second task, it will take time. But because it is asynchronous, while it is doing this, it will keep it in the background and it will go to the next one. And next one is lightweight. Then before it finished reading, this may print now. Understood? Last, the page content will print, right? Content will print. Let's try and see. So here we will run now again. That is the previous one, node index.js. You see this time read file, read complete, then content. Why this abnormal is there? You see that first one is read file. After that, read complete. Actually, this is the second task, na? Right? But it is not waiting. It is doing in the background, so it will do another task. Now, when you are doing the task asynchronous, then there will be no order, but they will perform fast. After collecting, you can put in order, your wish, right? So technically, even these days, some technologies, they introduced iterators, asynchronous iterator. Generally, we are using for loops, na? For iterator. For iterator will read all sequentially, one after another. Some technologies introduced an asynchronous iterator. Asynchronous iterator means it is reading the first one. It is taking time. Then it will keep it and go to second one. Now, what is point is, it is more faster than iterator, but abnormal in presentation. Why abnormal in presentation? First one will come last, second one will come in the middle. That you have to arrange in order later if you want, but reading will be fast because it is using an asynchronous. So that is asynchronous method. So by default, all methods are asynchronous in Node.js. If you want, you can specially use synchronous methods, right? This is example for that. This is example. So I will copy this example. This is using synchronous. So this reading file content using synchronous, asynchronous. Async means what? Unblocking technique. Unblocking technique. This is unblocking technique. How to write information into file we will see by using front end. Because from front end we need to pass some data. That data must be stored into the file and that must be saved. Such interfaces we will create. We will learn how to handle that, right? This is another object. So what is that object? FS. So FS is an which object? FS is an object which is used for, technically it is used for handling files. Handling files. So we can read information from file. We can write information into file. We can do that. So for example, let's try all the members of that and see. Since we are using for var property in FS. Console.log, we have a property. This is just to keep all the list. So this is node index.js. These are all so many properties are there. So these are all the properties of that file. That means handling files requires a lot of things. All these are defined. So I will give here as it provides members. Members is this. These are all the members. So many files are there. What is that? Some names you know already. Like you see in the members, close is nothing but after reading we can close the file. Writing, close the file, we can use. Exist is to verify is that file already taken or not. Exist is a boolean, verifies whether the file name you mentioned is already there or not, right? Similarly, we have the files like you see mkdir. It is not for creating file, it is for creating a directory. You can create a folder by using mkdir. You know, these are DOS commands, na? You know DOS commands, right? In command prompt, you see dir. So you see some directories are there: music, OneDrive, pictures, videos, some directories are there. If I want to create a directory, what we have to do? mkdir. mkdir is make directory. That means create a folder. So make directory, some directory name, zzz. A directory is created. You see dir, now zzz, a directory is there. You can create folders through commands actually. Visually, you are adding new folder like that, but through commands, they are actually added like that by using those commands. Actually, those commands are given here. So opening file, reading file, working with the file, these are all the options related to the files. But you just need two basic things actually. How do we read the files and how do we write, right? So this is about the file stream object. We have an object called FS. FS is for file stream, for reading and writing data into files and managing the files, right? Next, another important object we have an HTTP object. We have an HTTP object. Actually, HTTP object, so HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. What is a protocol? Actually, protocol defines a set of rules followed by computers in a network for communicating with each other. So computers in a network, they communicate with each other by using some set of rules. Those rules are called as what? Protocols. There are so many protocols, like we have TCP IP, transmission control protocol and internet protocol. We have like FTP, file transfer protocol. We have like HTTP. We have HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol, secured. HTTP is not secured. HTTP is secured. S is secured. In S, what happens is any data you are sending will not be sent in a clear form. It is encoded and sent, translated and sent, so that it is not in a clear format and it is not easy to hack. That is the reason these days all websites are using HTTPS, right? Not HTTP, right? HTTPS means secured. HTTP is no more secured, right? So another option is we have SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. This is used for sending emails. Emails are sent from one user to another in a network by the help of a protocol called SMTP. General data is transferred in a web server by using HTTP. If it is not on internet, if it is a private network in an office or college, then it will be FTP. So transmission control protocol and internet protocol establish connection between client and server, right? And so many are there. So many protocols are there. We have like MSMQ. So MSMQ is messaging service and message queue. Message service, message queue. It is used for chatting. So if anybody asks, what is the protocol for chatting? MSMQ, that is messaging protocol. What is the rule about MSMQ? What is the rule about MSMQ means? Sending a message, sending an email are both same. Sending a message and sending an email are both same. Both are not same. What is difference? For sending a message, you have certain limit of characters. You cannot send a lengthy page as SMS. Na? You cannot send a lengthy message as message, right? It will be divided into parts. I hope you know. If you are even sending a lengthy message, automatically it says maximum these characters. Is there any such limit for email? There will be certain limit for email, but it is more larger when compared to SMS. That means the rules will change for every purpose. These are rules according to MSMQ. Messages have certain rules. According to SMTP, email have certain rules. According to HTTP, web have certain rules. So protocol defines the rules. Now, important, I will give these abbreviations in the notes detailedly. Actually, now what is HTTP is, HTTP allows to create a web server. It allows to create a web server. You remembered you installed a web server, live server. You installed a live server and you are using that live server, which is running on which port number? 5500. In your Visual Studio Code you are using. Now you can create your own server with your own port numbers. Now your applications can run on that server. That is done by using HTTP. HTTP is used, it allows to create servers. But directly in a real world environment, we don't prefer HTTP directly in Node.js. Why? Because Node.js is single threaded. Then managing multiple requests on a server becomes a challenging one. That is the reason in real world projects, we don't directly use HTTP. We will take help of another mediator, middleware called Express.js. We will take another help of Express.js. Express.js is multi-threaded. What Express.js will do, it will make your Node.js to handle multiple requests. Otherwise, it can handle only limited. So technically, Express, we will later see Express. We will not directly create servers using this HTTP. We do that by using what? We do that by using Express. Another middleware is there. What is that middleware? I will explain, right? But HTTP is an object which provides those facilities, right? Now see here, suppose I'm using, so constant HTTP is equal to, so require HTTP. So it's not available. So for var property in HTTP, so console.log, what is that property? We are printing all the HTTP properties here. So you run this, you see these are all the HTTP related properties. What are the HTTP properties? Methods. What these methods will do? It will return the list of all HTTP methods. What are the default methods of form? We learned in form. Get and post. Now there are so many other HTTP methods. Get, post, put, delete, purge, patch. All these are different methods. Every method is used for different purpose. And you can get that information by using methods. Status codes already we learned. We discussed some. 404 is a status code which indicates that it is not found. 200 is a status code which indicates request is okay. Like that, there are so many status codes. For example, see here. So I'm using, let's copy this. So these are HTTP methods, node HTTP member. Methods and properties are, this is the list. Let me copy this list. These are all the methods, right? These are the response. Yeah, these are all the methods we have. Now in this, technically, you see now, so console.log, what we are doing, first we are writing So type of HTTP dot. We have what? Methods. And you see actually type of HTTP methods, what it is returning. So we have node index.js. It's an object. It's an object. So what we will do is we will write a simple for var property of HTTP dot property in HTTP dot what methods. HTTP methods. So console.log, what we are using, property. That means what are the properties in that object? You can see properties are numbers. Means it is an array. Understood? Array only contains properties as numbers, na? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means remember, it will not return array as type array. Array is also considered as an object. In that case, we can understand that it is array. How to access now, you know. So this time what we can do for var values, okay, for val values of then we have to print all the values. I am printing all the values. That means it is going to print all the values. You see how many methods are there? These are all the methods. So ACL, bind, checkout, connect, copy, delete, get, head, link, lock, merge. So many HTTP methods are there. You can access all those methods. We know only two methods in the beginning, only get and post. Here you will learn 4 methods: get, post, put, delete. You will learn patch also, how it works. 5 methods you will learn. How to interact with the database, you need them. Get is for fetching, post is for submitting, put is for modifying all details, patch is for modifying only partial details, and delete is for delete. Right? These are the options, HTTP related options. This is one option. Suppose you want to get the status codes. That means what we will do, dot what? There is another one. What is it? HTTP dot status codes. Right? So now you can see these are the status codes available. These are all the status codes. I hope some problem is there. What is there? That means it is not iterable, it is doing. Not iterable means it is not an array. We will use what? In. Actually in node index.js. You can see it is returning all status codes. These are all the status codes we have. 100, 101, 100, 200, 3. These are the status code numbers. Status codes, every status code can have a status code message. This means it is returning property, right? That means it is returning all the property. Let's do one thing. This is returning what? Property. For var property, I will put here expression. What we will do? We will print a property. After that hyphen. How to print the value of that property? So value of the property, we will print HTTP dot status codes of what property. That will print the value of the property. That means node index.js. Index.js. It will get all the details. That means these are all the status codes and their names. These are all the status codes and their names. 100 means continue. 101 means switching protocol. 102 means processing. Right, like this it will get all the status codes. 404 means not found. These are all the status codes. We can get all that information. Why you need these status codes? Based on users' actions, we need to report them. Right, the page you requested not found. This is the status code. Because of this status code, this message you have to send. This is very important, but here this is just how to get the information. Now we will learn how to create a server, how to start the server on specific port number. Once server started, now it will allow request from client, and when client makes a request, it can send a response. Now we need to do three things. First, we have to create a server. Why you are creating a server? To manage request from client. After managing request from client, what you will do? To send response to client request. That means we have to create one server. That server will be waiting for request from client. When client makes a request, it will send a response. This is the major thing in Node. Due to this, by seeing this, sometimes people think Node.js is a server. Many times people also tell that, because in many websites people put that Node.js server. Node.js is not a server. Node.js allows you to create a server. Node.js is not server. Node.js is a server-side technology. Node.js allows you to create a server. This is miscommunicated. So many times people say that, see, even now when I tell this, some of the people messaged me that, sir, Node.js, I heard that it is a server. But where you heard it is a server, it is wrong. Node.js is not a server. Node.js is a server-side technology which have a lot of things. It have an option of creating a server. Some people know only that. That's the reason they are miscommunicated. Node.js is not server. Node.js have a server. Understood? We can create a server. Now we have to see how to create the servers, manage request and send response. That we'll see tomorrow. Right? So this all you need practice first. Then tomorrow is very big, because tomorrow we will see server communicating with database. Client communicates with server, server communicates with database, gets the data from database and sends to client. This process we are going to see tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue with that. Right.